Good morning, Literature and Composition 2. Miss Wissinger here to go over your final paper outline. Yes, we're there. We made it. You've done such a great job. Even if you're a little behind, there's still a great opportunity for you to make this up. All right, so I'm going to walk you through the paper, the outline, and how I'll be able to guide you to have great success on this paper. So, your introduction, you're going to follow this outline, right? So, this is going to be your topic, sentence, or hook. Everyone should start with discrimination, bias, and injustice are part of our world, but many have done what they need to enact change. You're going to continue with this secondary sentence, copy it into your draft. And then this is where you're going to put what the topic was that you researched, all right? The discrimination of what or injustice about what. Paragraph 1, this is from our market period 2 paper. So this is where we're going to provide the background information about the discrimination, bias, and injustice you're discussing. You want to give the facts and statistics and examples that you've already gathered. If you've already done this paper, feel free to copy and paste it from the market period 2 paper. It's still available in your classwork section, okay? Make sure you explain why it's an injustice, not only to the people being discriminated against, but society and world overall. And be sure that you have your textual evidence citing the sources as well. So this should all already be done in your market period 2 paper. Again, if you're a little bit behind and you need some extra support, I've already pulled some resources. I'm going to have you focus on racial discrimination at that point. I've already pulled some resources that will help you to be able to get that done a little bit more easily. So contact me if you have not done your market period 2 paper so that we can still have you be successful in this one. The second body paragraph is evaluate and judge writing purpose, right? So we're taking this information from our market period 3 paper that we wrote. This is where we're going to provide information about what others have already done to combat the injustice, right? This is where you were judging their progress. You were evaluating and judging it. You were saying what worked, what didn't, what could have or should have been done differently. And of course, you want to provide that textual evidence showing that you got this information from a valid source, right? Because we obviously always evaluate our sources to make sure that it's valid information that we're giving. But this is our evaluate and judge writing purpose. This is coming from your market period 3 paper. Again, I have resources pulled to the side about racial discrimination if you have not already done your market period 3 paper. It's going to take you a little bit longer and you're going to have to put in some extra work, but you can still be successful in this paper. So contact me if you need some help. Our third body paragraph is the analyze and interpret writing purpose. This is unique. This one is unique, so it's new to us, so we can't draw on previous papers. This is the one that we've been practicing with by our error book, that we were supposed to choose an error reading that dealt with the injustice that we have been researching for the last few marking periods. So our job here is to find something that was written about the injustice. It could be fictional or non-fictional, and it's by an author. Then we're going to put our interpretation of what they're writing, right? So this should be their interpretation, the author's interpretation of either the injustice itself or the actions taken to combat it, or both is even better. Again, it can be a fictitious story. It can be a made-up story where maybe the character is encountering some discrimination or injustice. That's okay too. But it's your job to walk us through the author's point of view. So you have to tell us, what were they talking about with the injustice? What was their position on the injustice? How are they making that clear that that's their position? And of course, you want to provide textual evidence. And then the biggest part is to tell us, do you believe that this was helpful to fight against the injustice, this piece of writing, or do you think that it did not help the fight against the injustice? And obviously explain. Our fourth body paragraph is to take a stand and propose a solution. This should be familiar to you because this again comes from our marking period 3 paper. The questions you have to answer are, what are your overall thoughts about the injustice? What are your overall thoughts about the work that has already been done to combat the injustice? So that's what people have already done to fight against it. What are your overall thoughts about the literature written about the injustice? So this one's a little bit new because that's going to be talking about the literature that you found through your error and then the research that you were doing to get to that error book. What are you currently doing to combat this injustice, even if it's small? So that's you independently. What's the next step for you to combat the injustice? What's a larger step your future holds to combat the injustice? And how can we all work together to help fight this injustice? This does come from a Merkin Period 3 paper, but this is a pretty straightforward writing purpose where it's more opinion based, right? It's about you taking a stand and proposing a solution. So even if you haven't had this drafted already, just make sure that you hit all those bullet points and answer all those questions, and you'll be perfect. Our conclusion. We're going to just fill in the blanks as we need to, but everyone's conclusion should look like this. You need to incorporate all 3 bullet points there, and then just fill in the blanks of the injustice that you researched. And then that last blank is, how will the world be a better place if we took care of this problem and eliminated this injustice or discrimination? Okay, so this is your outline and your outline video to help you with your final paper. I know some of you are super excited to kind of just go right ahead and get this done because this is your last assignment of the year. So I did want to make this video early so that in case you wanted to move forward, you definitely can. As always, I'm here for any support that you might need. If you're in another Literature and Composition 2 class and watching this video, feel free to talk to your teacher. Feel free to stop by and see me. Whatever you'd like, and then we can get you that support that you need. All right, let's finish this year strongly. Even if you're a little bit behind, let's make sure that you're successful. And I will love to read this, and then I'll see your beautiful selves at graduation. Let me know if you need it.